My informative speech today. This is my audience. This is going to be my sentence throughout the speech. Leo. Okay. Today I'm here to share with you a long-time love of mine and some of my fondest memories that a father can make with a son or daughter. The joy this activity can bring to you and your loved ones is endless, but there can be dissatisfying days as well when you go home after being skunked, as we English call it. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm talking about the joys of fishing. The old saying goes, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. This proverb can be found in almost any Bible, from the Quran, Christian, Chinese, and Russian, and of course the Catholic Bible. It's also in Anne Isabella's and Thackeray Ritchie's novel, Miss Diamond. There are many types of fishing, hundreds of different fish to fish for. Some are fun to catch but terrible to clean and even worse to eat. There are others that are fun to catch and eat. There are some that lay on the bottom and feed off the bottom, and there are some that are in the middle. There's some that are on the top. There are many things you need to get started. If you're over the age of 16 years old, you need a fishing license. You can get them at any sports section of Walmart, Ace Hardware, or any fisherman shop. Second, you need a fishing pole for the type of fishing you're going to do and the right tackle and bait. According to the Kansas Wildlife and Game, pond fishing, you do not need a license, and there's no limit to the amount of fish you can catch. Now, if your pond that you're fishing is river fed, you will have to have a license if it's a state river, like the Smoky Hill, the Arkansas, the Missouri, the Mississippi. If the fish are coming out of that river, you will need a license, and the limits do apply. You can fish with up to 2 poles and on a single license, but if you have 3 poles, you need to add 3 poles to your license. It's important to know how many fish you can catch of one certain kind. This is known as your daily limit. Some fish you might need an extra license for. This is called a stamp. And even some fish you got to be a certain length. To give you a rundown, the daily catch limit only applies on public fishing. Private land is excluded. No limits, no lengths when fishing. To give you a rundown of the limits on the certain fishes, you have blue cats. They're awesome to catch. You get a limit of 10 a day. Walleye, sauger, saugeye, you got a limit of 5 a day. Rainbow brown trout, you have to have a trout stamp, and you have a limit of 5 a day. Black basses, such as largemouth, smallmouth, striped bass, you have a limit of 5 a day. Northern pike, which you don't see a whole lot of in Kansas, but there are some, you have a limit of 2 a day. Flathead catfish, you have a limit of 5 a day. Striped bass, you have a limit of 2 a day. Wipers, you have a limit of 2 a day. Crappie, you can catch up to 50. White bass, bluegill, bullhead catfish, there is no limit. Paddlefish, such as also known as spoonbill, you can catch up to 2 a day. Lengths do apply on certain fishes. All bass have to be over 15 inches. All sauger got to be over 15 inches. Northern pike, 30 inches. Walleye, 15 inches. Well, can you bring me a fish, please? Bring them on. How you measure to see if your fish is over the requirement is you measure from the mouth. When the mouth is closed, hold it like that. When the mouth is closed to the end of the tail, you've got exactly 15 inches. Now, there's all different types of fishing. You can fish for bullfrogs. The season starts July 1st to October 31st. Your limit is 24 frogs. Boat fishing, open cat, year round, 10 limit, and all arrows must be barbed and attached to a line. You can also fish with crossbows. Hand fishing and noodling is from June 5th, 15th to August 31st. License and special permit for flathead only. Ice fishing, spear fishing, wader fishing, fishing from a boat. You can use this type of bow when bow fishing. Only thing is, you gotta have the tip bar, and this has gotta be connected to the back of a line. Number 1, law of fishing. Always have a license and always police your trash up. The penalty can be a fine up to $100 to $1,000 depending. It can be more depending on how many fish you get caught with at the time you get caught. Also, what the game warden can do is he can take all your tackle, all your fishing poles, everything, and you won't get it back. I've never been caught without a license, but a friend of mine got caught without a license. And the game warden was real nice about it, gave him a month to get his license and sent him a copy of it in the mail. And he did, and he didn't have to pay the ticket or nothing. Now, my favorite type of fishing is wader fishing. Bring the fish. This is where you wear these waders in the water so you can get out there deep enough. And you use this kind of pull, which is a lightweight bass pull, ultra sensitive, and you use anywhere from a 4 to 6 pound test. You use what we call a lure and a jig, and you just cast. Now the limit on white bass year round is limit. You can catch as many as you want. We caught 4 white bass today, which isn't a whole lot, but it's the beginning of the spawning. Now, there are several things you need to know about white bass fishing. This is my favorite kind of fishing. I only do waded fishing. I do some white bass fishing from a boat, but there's certain baits. There's all different kinds. There's Mr. Twister, which you can get at Walmart. There's these Daniel Son jigs, which you can get at Walmart. You can also find all these at Ace Hardware. What I find works the best are these Mr. Twister shats because it mimics a minnow going through the water, a dying minnow. Now, there is another type of fishing that I love to do. It's catfishing. Me and Leo are going to give a quick demonstration of how you fish for catfish. Leo, will you take a seat, please? Hey, Leo, you got one yet? No? I ain't got one yet either. You got another beer? No. How we getting home?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Now, this is basically the type of what you do when you catfish. You drink beer and you sit in chairs. And since you drink beer, you want to have something that's dark outside. So you want to be able to know that you got a fish on your pole. This is my handy dandy bell here. And what also helps is when you see the pole bend over like that, that's when you know you got a fish. But at night you can't see that, so you listen for the bell. Okay. In conclusion, me and my stepson, we go fishing as much as I can take him. He has not taken much of a liking to it yet because he hasn't had a real good fishing day. But today we caught 4. And with that, I'll close. Thank you.